I'm picking up my granddaughter from school, and she climbs into the car with this look on her face. Not sad, not angry, just flat, empty, like someone turned off a light inside her. She's 15. I ask her how her day was. She shrugs. I ask if something happened. She says no more. Then, after a long silence, she says something that's been rattling around in my head ever since. Grandpa, does it ever feel like nothing you do actually matters? My name is George. I'm 87 years old. I've lived through wars, recessions, family tragedies, and the personal failures you wouldn't wish on anyone. And that question from my granddaughter shook me, because I've asked myself that same question more times than I can count. The difference is that I'm near the end of my life looking back, and she's at the beginning looking forward. And somewhere between those two perspectives, I think I finally understand something important. We live in a world obsessed with impact. Everyone wants to leave a mark, change the world, be remembered. I see it everywhere. People chase careers they think will make them significant. They post online hoping for validation. They measure their worth by how many people know their name. And I get it. I really do. But here is what we learned after nearly 9 decades on this planet. The things that actually matter rarely feel like they matter at the time. Let me tell you about my neighbor, Margaret. She lived 3 houses down from us for 42 years. She was a school teacher, never married, no more children of her own. She taught 3rd grade at the same elementary school her entire career. When she retired, there was a small gathering in the school gym. Maybe 30 people showed up. No more cameras, no more memorable speeches. She got a plaque and a bouquet of flowers. 4 years later, she passed away quietly in her sleep. At her funeral, I expected a modest turnout. Margaret had always been private, unassuming, but the church was packed. Standing room only. One by one, people stood up to speak. A doctor said Margaret was the first person who ever made him feel smart. A woman who ran a non-profit said Margaret taught her to read when everyone else had given up. A man in his 50s brought his daughter and decided he became a teacher because of Margaret. Story after story, lives changed, paths redirected, all because of a woman who thought she was just doing her job. Margaret never tried to change the world. She never chased recognition. She showed up every day and paid attention to the children in front of her. She learned their names. She noticed when they struggled. She stayed late to help them understand fractions and the spelling words. Nothing glamorous, nothing headline-worthy. Yet the ripples from her life are still spreading through people she never met. I think we've got it backwards. We think mattering means being seen, being known, being remembered by crowds. But that's not how life actually works. Life is built on small moments between people. A conversation that shifts someone's perspective. A kindness that arrives right when someone's about to give up. Showing up when it's inconvenient. Listening when you'd rather talk. These things don't feel significant when they're happening. They feel ordinary, easy to dismiss. When I was 39, I went through a rough patch. My business was struggling. Money was tight. I was drinking more than I should have and sleeping less than I needed. I felt like a failure. One evening, I was sitting in my car outside a bar, trying to decide whether to go in, when a guy barely knew Tom knocked on my window. We'd met maybe twice before. He said he was heading to get coffee and he asked if he wanted to join him. Just like that, no more big intervention, no more lecture. We sat in a diner for 2 hours. He didn't ask what was wrong. He didn't try to fix anything. He just talked about ordinary things: his kids, a boot he was reading, a trip he'd taken years ago. And somewhere in the middle of that completely ordinary conversation, something in me settled. I didn't go into that bar. I went home. I can't even remember everything we talked about. But that moment mattered. It changed the trajectory of my night, maybe my life. And Tom probably forgot about it by the next morning. That's the thing about mattering. It's almost never dramatic. It doesn't announce itself. You don't get a notification telling you that something you did changed someone's life. Most of the time, you'll never know. You'll do something that feels small to you, and it'll be everything to someone else. And you walk away thinking it didn't amount to much at all. My wife used to write letters, real letters, stamps and all. She wrote to our kids when they were away at college, the old friends she hadn't seen in years, the cousins, neighbors, anyone who crossed her mind. I used to tease her. I'd say, everyone has phones. Just call them. She'd smile and keep writing. After she passed, I found boxes of letters people had written back to her. Andy and almost everyone, someone mentioned how much her letters meant, how they'd kept certain ones for years, how they reread them during hard times. She wasn't trying to matter, she was just reaching out. Andy, she mattered enormously. Here is what I wish someone had told me when I was younger. Your life doesn't need to be extraordinary to matter. In fact, it probably shouldn't be. The pressure to be exceptional, to stand out, to make a big splash, that pressure crushes people. It makes them feel like their ordinary life isn't enough. Like showing up for family, doing honest work, being kind to strangers doesn't count unless it looks impressive. But almost everything that holds our world together is done by people no one will remember. Parents getting up in the middle of the night with sick children, workers who show up on time and they do their jobs well, friends who check in when they notice someone's hurting, volunteers who serve meals, clean parks, visit hospitals, people who vote, recycle, return shopping carts. Small, unremarkable acts that keep everything from falling apart. You want to know if you matter? Look at the people directly in front of you. Are you present with them? Are you honest? Are you kind when you don't have to be? Do you keep your promises? Do you make room for other people's pain? Do you celebrate their joy? These questions won't land you on magazine covers. They won't build a platform or expand your influence, but they determine whether your life actually meant something. I've been thinking a lot about my granddaughter's question. Does anything you do actually matter? And I've realized the question itself is the problem. Because when we ask if we matter, we're usually asking if we matter in some grand, measurable way, if we're important, influential, exceptional. But mattering doesn't work like that.